YouTube, what is up everybody, Jabby here. Welcome my friends to a brand new video here on the channel. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Today, I've got a Rainbow Six Siege video here on the channel and it's gonna be a long one. So sit down, grab some popcorn, grab something to drink and enjoy the video. Siege is coming up with its 4th DLC pack called Operation Red Crow. And that is what we are going to talk about in today's video. There is a lot of information about the Operation Red Crow on the internet, and through this video I compiled everything and anything that I came across as far as the 4th DLC pack goes into this single video. So if you do end up enjoying this, then please do leave a like rating. To begin with, let's start off with the new map that we will be getting with Season 4. The map is called Skyscraper and it is set in Japan. Ubisoft released a teaser showcasing the map, and that is what I'm gonna let you guys watch right now. This, my friends, is then the new map that we will be getting with Season 4. Of course, it's set in Japan and it gives those Japanese vibes. After looking at that little preview, you can't really say a whole lot about the map. I mean, the only thing that I concluded with was that it is Japanese and that is about it. But we finally today, the day I'm recording this video, got to see the map from inside and, get that feel of how it may play when we get our hands onto it. The following snippet that you're gonna get to see is courtesy of the dev segment, wherein they were talking about the Red Crow operation, and I will be leaving a link to the entire video in the description down below.
This was built by a Yakuza leader, and it was attacked recently by another Yakuza clan. Therefore, you see remnants, you see some weapons are scattered through the layout.
So it's a full-on gang war that took place in there.
Yeah, you'll see some blood stains on the walls and the floors. So
nice, and some of the detail in this map is some of the really highest quality I've seen in the past. Tell us a little bit about the detail of the structure and the textures and the architecture.
Yeah, well, you have traditional versus modern, and what's great about it is in different rooms you'll have some very iconic things, like you'll have a karaoke room, you'll have a Japanese tea room, you'll see tatamis spread across the floors, and you'll see translucent walls like you see in Japan.
So like the translucent paper walls that you have, or doorways or something like that, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's really cool. I have to say the karaoke room is one of my favorites. As we look at some of these designs, the first time I played on this map, I just got lost looking at some of the design. It was so beautiful and so cool.
Yeah, and gameplay wise there's a lot of open spaces, and we have 3 iconic spawn points, one which is the tower, the helicopter pad, and my favorite, the basically skyscraper wall spawn point.
So now that's a rappel spawn point, right?
That's right. It's a very high risk, high reward. It's good for players that want to rush and attack. But if they take that route, it'll be more vulnerable, and they can be attacked by defenders.
That's going to be really interesting. So a lot of interesting angles, a lot of good angles that you can play here, a lot of great rooms, and a lot of destruction, right? Talk about the destruction about the map. What does it remind you of?
Well, I'd say it's a lot of fun. Going into these traditional style Japanese homes, setting up a breach and blowing up a wall, it's great. It mixes really well with the aesthetic.
Nice.
And once you go from interior to exterior, all of a sudden you're outside. You get a sense of vertigo because you're on top of a building.
And there's a little bit of difference between night and day, right?
Oh yeah, at nighttime you see the neon lights in the city. In the daytime you got more of a sunrise, you see the clouds, and so it's a lot of fun.
Very cool. And Macy J, you got a chance to try this map out. What did you think of it?
I like it. Overall, it's fantastic. What I liked the most was the balance of destructibility. It seemed like the other DLC maps kind of struggled, not having enough destructibility, Favela having too much. This one really found the balance. Kind of like Chalet. I want to compare it to Chalet just because it really has that perfect balance.
Nice, and Chalet is a favorite map in the Pro League, definitely. Speaking of Pro League, Simon, we invited some Pro League players to try out this map. What did they think about it?
Yeah, we did. We invited a couple of players to the Ubisoft Montreal studio. They tried it out, and they thought it was really fun to play. It really felt competitive. It felt more like one of the old school classic maps.
So like House or something like that.
Holy moly, my friends, the map it looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that is the case with every Rainbow Six Siege map in my opinion. The way the colors pop out and the way the aesthetics are, they are pinpoint. And it is actually Japanese from inside. I mean, I've never been to Japan, so I don't really know how they live and, you know, how their homes are, but the way they were talking about it, it really seemed that it truly is Japanese. The map looks like a traditional Japanese home, to say the least. I also like it how Macy J pinpoints the fact that the balance of destructibility is perfect. I also feel as though Favela is just way too destructible, and sometimes defending on that map can be a nightmare. So you can't really breach through every wall, but you still can very much breach through in. Skyscraper will be playable from November the 17th. It will be a free map. Also on the 17th of November, the season pass holders will get their hands onto a couple of new operators. Obviously one being an attacker and the other being a defender. Let us start then with the defender that we'll be getting with season 4, and he'll be called Echo. Again, here's a little preview to give you a sneak peek of how the operator may play.
機械の方が優秀なんだから使わない手はない。
Interesting, my friends, really interesting, because as you can see, Echo, he's a defender, but he has a drone. This is obviously the first time a defender has got an ability to use a drone within Rainbow Six Siege. And there are a few things which I can clarify about his ability. Firstly, he won't be able to spot the enemies using his drone. So it all comes down to you having a mic, and only then will you be able to communicate about the enemy position. Also, Echo will be a 3 armor 1 speed operator, so you gotta keep that in mind as you play with Echo. Finally, you can very much hurt your enemies using Echo's drone. So if someone is AFK, I would presume you can get a kill on them if you're using Echo's drone, but we will know about that once we get our hands onto the new operators. Next up, let's talk about his loadout. For his primary weapon, he has two options. Either it is the MP5 submachine gun or the Supernova shotgun. For secondaries, he's got the option between the P229 pistol or the Bearing 9, which is kind of a machine pistol similar to your Mach 11, but one thing that I can confirm right off the bat, the Bearing 9 will not have a ACOG attachment, so you can't really, you know what you do with your Mach 11s, don't you? Echo's drone comes with a sonic burst ability which kinda hurts your opponent, so it works much like a Twitch drone, apart from the fact that you can't spot enemies. It's a pretty interesting concept, not gonna lie. It really does seem an interesting concept, and I hope it plays out perfectly. Also, the drone is accessible to the operator himself, meaning that it's not like Valkyrie's cameras wherein any teammate on your team can use the cameras. Next up, we've got the attacking operator, and she's called Hibana. It's a pretty interesting name, and you guys enjoyed the little preview that Ubisoft shared with us, and I'll catch you after that.
私の友達ならこう言うわね。バカでかい穴が開くぞ。
Unlike Echo, after watching his little preview, I couldn't really tell how his drone would work, but for this preview that we saw for Hibana, it clarifies everything, like everything is known right now. She has basically got this launcher of hers which helps her to make a couple of murder holes on reinforced walls. So it is not something like what Thermite would offer, but you know, it's a real close alternative. Over at the dev segment, they were talking about how the combination of Blackbeard and Hibana can be super overpowered, and I can exactly see how, but we'll see how it all works out once we do end up getting these operators. Also, due to the introduction of Hibana within Rainbow Six Siege, it will drastically reduce the dependability on Thermite. At least now we will have someone to, I won't really say breach through the reinforced walls, but at least to make those murder holes when our Thermite is dead. For Hibana's loadout, she's gonna be coming with the Type 89 assault rifle as well as a Supernova shotgun as her primary weapons. And for her secondary weapons, she too will come with the P229 and the Bearing 9. As for the two operators, I feel both of them are really unique in their own self, and they will really changed the way how we play Siege today. With Season 4, Siege is also introducing caliber based destruction, meaning that depending on what kind of a bullet you are shooting, the holes that you will be making through walls will be different. As you'd expect, here's a little video that shows just that. Enjoy the little snippet and I'll catch you back after this.
Destruction is. And Simon, could you please explain to us what we're seeing right now?
Yeah, so as you know in the game, right now you only have one standard caliber size for all guns, and that wasn't really granular enough for us. So as you can see, there are 5 calibers now in the game, and each of them act differently on the destruction system. So you see like pistols make smaller holes, and they make smaller collapsing holes. So and the assault rifle will make bigger holes because they're higher caliber.
Right. So so the entire weapon system has been kind of taking this into account, and it's going to create new ways of people how they approach their murder holes creation, or how they approach even getting through an objective or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And as you can see, it's not only the assault rifles that like produce big holes.
The
like,
Deagle going crazy on
just
walls,
shredding
right?
the walls, right? Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of an interesting play. Miles, how do you think caliber-based destruction is going to affect how players approach the new map, Skyscraper, and some of the old maps?
Well, I think it's a great tool set for defending players. It's, depending on how they want to approach it, it'll allow them to create different kinds of layouts to defend with. But on the attacking side, they'll be able to identify what guns they're using at the same time. So.
Nice, yeah, and it's going to be kind of changing the way that attackers and defenders, approach their destruction and murder.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, cool. Macy J, what are your thoughts on it?
Overall, I like it. It's adding an additional dynamic to the game, and I'm actually hoping that this will kind of draw players towards the less favored weapons. We do have certain weapons that are more likely to be picked, and having this little element might change that up a bit.
Definitely adds a little bit of variety and thought process to your loadout, and that's definitely kind of an interesting thought too, where you may be picking a certain weapon over another one based on this new system, and it's really a polishing of our system, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like we just delve deeper into the system.
This is something really interesting, as it adds in this whole new layer of realism within Rainbow Six Siege. There will be a total of 5 different caliber sizes within Siege, and to be honest, this is a welcome change. I mean, this wasn't something which the community demanded, but again, it is something which will, as I said, will make the game a whole lot realistic. Also with Season 4, many new customization options will be added for your operators, and on top of that, something really cheeky, but you'll be able to use some taunts and gestures after the game is over. As always, there's a little preview for the same. Watch it, enjoy, and I'll catch you after that.
You can see we have 3 that are launching with Season 4. We have Capcan, it's a full head-to-toe uniform that customizes everything, including Sledge's unique sledgehammer, unique operator ability with his sledgehammer. It completely changes the way that looks. And then there's also these victory winning screens, which are so cool, including that thermite one. What do you guys think of that? That's pretty neat.
Now, talking of the customization, I mean, I really do like it. It feels really good if you have the ability to choose as to what your operator will wear. But for the new taunts which they added, I don't know, like, will they eliminate all the other teammates which like contributed to the win? Because the final end screen was just showing the #1 player. I don't really know as of now. Because Siege is a team game, and every member of your team deserves equal credit in my own eyes, even though it isn't a big deal, but still something that I wanted to put out. Apart from all of this though, the season pass holders will also get a exclusive uniform for Hibana and Echo. That is then about everything we know of the Red Crow Operation Season 4 DLC 4, whatever you may want to call. Really interesting, I cannot wait. But anyways guys, that about wraps it up for this particular video. If you did end up enjoying the video, then be sure to leave a like rating. That really does help me out. And if this is your first time on the channel, which it may as well be, because I don't really upload a lot of Rainbow Six Siege content, then let me tell ya, I'm gonna be uploading a lot of more Rainbow Six videos on the channel, so definitely subscribe if you haven't already. But regardless guys, thank you so very much for watching. It's been Tabby here, and until next time, farewell.